Hey, it's Amy Lewis from the KFBK Morning News with Brandon Haefele from Catalyst Mortgage, and this is the Catalyst Report. When you buy a home, you are in that home, or at least with that home loan, for 15, perhaps 30 years. So you want to make sure that you work with a very reputable company, a very good company, a high prestigious company, right? We did that with Brandon and Catalyst Mortgage. But maybe that's not the way you want to go. What I love about Brandon is that for him, the educated, smart choice for you is how you want to go. And so we're talking about, first of all, let me have you talk about what sets some companies apart from other companies when it comes to a refinance or a home loan.
It's a great question. I think that it comes down to first leadership. Really how your company, the direction your company's in, how your leaders handle situations. Are they about family, team environment that's going to make their employees feel good, which ultimately will help the customer feel good. I always go back to Richard Branson. How do you say it? Your employees or your customers do not come first. Your employees do, because if you treat your employees right, they will treat your customers right.
Yeah.
So I think that number one, core culture is important. On top of that, product diversity, being competitive on what products are available, but also making sure that you can follow up. What you say is what you're going to deliver on.
Yeah.
Those are really important things.
Okay, so you talked about a lot of things, but for somebody who's watching right now, break it down. What are the top 3 things I need to know about if I'm thinking about going with a particular company and how I want to be treated?
Well, I think reviews, number one, are important. Really making sure you're doing research on the company, how long it's been in business, the loan officer, really asking them questions. Okay, how long have you been in this industry? And then also just going into, product knowledge. Does the company have, a wide variety of loan products? But on top of that, are they being explained to you the correct way, where you feel as the consumer, okay, hey, I understand what this product's about.
How important is it to work with a company where you can walk into the office and see them face to face?
I personally believe it's very important. I think I think we've gotten away from this, handshake, look somebody in the eye and make sure you know who that person is.
Yeah.
But I also think that when you are face to face with any loan officer, they are able to look at you and say, okay, when I'm explaining something, are you sure you understand? Or do we, because over the phone, it's you don't have that. You don't have I can't see your face. And if you kind of look at me maybe a little funny after I explain it, I say, well, let me explain it a different way to make sure that you understand. But on top of that, for you to know, hey, this is my loan officer. This is the company I'm working with.
Yeah.
And I can walk in and I can see them. I can have a cup of coffee and have that one-on-one, relationship.
Yeah. You talk a lot about transparency. How important is transparency?
I think with all of, any mortgage company, extremely. I think that you have to be able to see the numbers in writing, feel that the company's backing them up, backing up what they say in writing, but on top of that, explaining everything. And I think that's all part of transparency. It's making you feel comfortable from beginning to end.
Is it important to, for lack of a better term, dumb down what people are looking at, or to make sure that they simply understand what it is they're looking at on a level where they feel good about what they're doing?
Twofold in my opinion. I think that the dumbing it down is maybe just to explain it, more in layman's terms from what some people might not be used to.
Yeah, you use language that I would
exactly.
use.
But at the same time, I also want to then use that language after it's been explained, so then it's more practical. That okay, if they hear that term again, it's really then going to be an apples to apples understanding.
Yeah.
So like if you're going to, let's say, go to mortgage company A and they're going to tell you, X, Y, and Z, but maybe they don't tell you the terminology. Well, when someone else tries to tell you the terminology from a different company, you're not equally understanding. So I think it's both. A company has to do both of those things.
Okay, so we're going to talk about other companies in our area that you would recommend, which I find fascinating, but that's you. But before we do that, name again the top 3 things, in your opinion, that make those companies a company that you would recommend.
I think it comes down to leadership, the reputation in the mortgage industry, and also in the region, but also service, and the service that they're going to provide their customers, not just now, but over the life of the loan.
Okay, so we have leadership, reputation, and service. So those are the 3 things. So we're going to name names. He is. So what are the other companies in our area? And this is just bizarre because this doesn't happen a lot. But what are the other companies in our area that you, Brandon Haefele of Catalyst Mortgage, would recommend people go to?
Absolutely. Guild Mortgage is a wonderful firm.
Why?
Really just good service. They stand behind the product and they've been around a long time. You also have Vitech Mortgage, started locally, very good family business, and great loan officers. Another one would be American Pacific Mortgage. They're in Roseville, awesome company. And then California Capital Mortgage, smaller company, but does great business and really stands behind their products.
So you've named these companies that you recommend in our area. One of the things that we've talked about before, but we can revisit it now because I think it's important, is that often if you get a home loan, when you get a home loan, the company you work with doesn't retain your loan.
That is true.
And that's the case in many different...
Many cases, lenders will sell your loan, sell the servicing of your loan. To be clear, your servicer can be one entity, the actual person or the company that owns or the agency that owns your loan can be another. So most loans are owned by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, USDA, and so on. But your servicer is who you make your monthly payments to. So to be clear, when we talk about picking a good, mortgage company to work with up front, it's, are they going to be able to help you if there is a problem with your servicer or something comes up, just to be a resource? Or are they one of those companies that's going to say, hey, you know what, we've done your loan, have a good day, you have to contact your servicer directly. And they might be able, these companies that I've named are companies that, I feel will always help that client going forward, and also give resources or give information. Hey, you're having this problem. Let me see what I can do or help you get a good contact for that servicer. If there's an issue. Now, some of them do service loans as well, but if they don't, are they really going to stand by you? And I feel that these companies will.
All right, so I recommend you day in and day out on my radio show. I always talk about Catalyst Mortgage, but I want you to again name the 4 companies that you feel are just as good as Catalyst Mortgage.
Guild Mortgage, American Pacific, Vitech, and California Capital Mortgage.
There you go. We also have the Catalyst Report that airs every Monday morning from 7 to 8. We've got you covered here on Facebook as well. You've got a question we would sure like to I would like to ask Brandon and have him answer it for you. There are a lot of questions surrounding home loans and second mortgages. You can talk with Catalyst Mortgage. What's your phone number?
916-287-7777.
Or go online to catalystmortgage.com. That was